Hey guys, my name is Mike and welcome to my channel. Hey guys, so for today's video, ang pag-uusapan natin ay about how I became a cabin crew. So what are the struggles, what are the challenges, ano yung mga pinagdaanan ko bago akong nag-isang cabin crew. Prior to this video, nagpa-poll question ako sa Instagram and my YouTube channel if ano nga ba yung gusto niyong topic na i-discuss ko sa akin next video, and ito yung topic na nanalo. I'm simply just gonna talk about my experience from the moment I applied until the first day I started flying. So let's go back to 2015. So 2015, graduate ako ng college, and then I allotted myself 2 months para mag-enjoy kasi nga 14 years akong straight na nag-aral, so I needed some vacation time para naman makapagpahinga. Meron akong mga seniors nung college na nagiging FA sila. Bigla kong naalala yung dream ko nung high school na, tama pala, mag-FA pala ako dapat. So there was a time kasi in college na sobrang payat ko talaga, as in, like, tanungin mo yung mga college classmates ko, sobrang payat ko, tapos hindi ako makinis. Paningin ko sa sarili ko, hindi ako suitable to be an FA. So, nung graduation na, tapos na yung studying, wala nang stress. So, medyo, di ko alam ano nangyari. Medyo nagkalaman-laman ako. So, kain lang ng kain, biglang tumaba, nagkalaman. So, dun ko na-realize na, ito, pwede na ako mag-FA. Tsaka medyo nagla-lighten up na yung skin ko, kumikinis na yung balat. Although not entirely, marami pa rin akong ginawa para magpakinis ng balat. Last week of May, may nakita akong post from Cebu Pacific na meron silang roadshow, one-day mass hiring from one place to another. So, bawat place may specific date lang na mag-roadshow sila doon. So, for Davao City, since taga Davao ako, siguro mga ano na lang siya, like 3 days away na lang. By the time na nakita ko yung post, 3 days away na lang, magma-mass hiring na sa Davao. So, that time, meron akong malaking pimple dito. So, hindi ako prepared. So, hindi ko siya ni-risk kasi nga, ayokong matanggal, ayokong ma-reject. Ang ginawa ko, nag-antay ako sa next na mass hiring, which is sa Jensen, just a week after. Timing, yung tita ko, taga Jensen, uuwi siya ng Jensen that time, so sumabay ako para makapag-apply ako. So I prepared all the requirements, yung mga picture, yung resume, tsaka ano pa ba? Sa lahat ng requirements. Tapos, we went to Jensen. It was a 3 hours drive lang from Davao City. Nag-apply ako sa mass hiring ng Cebu Pacific. Luckily, I passed everything. So, at the end of the day, hired na ako sa Cebu Pacific. Binigyan na kami ng list of requirements tsaka ng medical exams na kailangan namin i-take. So, yung medical exams sa Cebu Pacific, your own expense, kayo mismo yung magpapa-medical, and then isasubmit nyo along with the requirements sa Cebu Pacific HR office, which is in Manila. And then, nung sinubmit ko ng requirements, sabi ng HR, okay na. So, ready for training na ako. So, ang sabi sa akin, batch 127 daw ako sa Cebu Pacific. Kaso, that time, puro mga babae yung tinitrain nila. All girls, kasi hindi ko alam, priority nilang girls that time. So, lahat ng mga kasabay kong nag-apply, ng mga babae, nakapag-train na, tapos 5 na lang ata kaming lalaki na hindi pa nagta-train. Sila, agad-agad, like, the following week, nakapag-train na sila, in-invite na sila for training. Samantalang kami mga boys, nag-antay pa kami, that was June. So, July, August, walang update from them. Puro daw girls yung tinitrain. So, what I did was, first week of September, may mass hiring sa PAL Express sa Manila. Tapos, pumunta ako ng Manila. Nag-apply ako sa PAL Express na mass hiring. Pero, fortunately, hindi ako tumagal. Hanggang impact interview lang ako. I don't know what happened. Siguro sobrang haggard ko na, sobrang pagod na ako nun. Tsaka wala ng energy kasi sobrang haba ng pila. Siguro there were more than 5,000 applicants that day. Sobrang haba ng pila, in bilad sa araw. I went home. Hindi naman ako na-sad totally kasi hindi naman yun yung main goal ko pagpunta sa Manila. Ang goal ko is mag-apply sa Philippine Airlines. September 2015 pa rin, the following week after I applied for PALX, I went to the HR office of Philippine Airlines and I submitted my resume. So, sabi ng guard doon, i-contact lang ako ng HR for an interview. So, wala silang sinabi na date kung gaano katagal ako mag-aantay. So, yun, nag-antay lang ako sa Manila. And then, meron akong kaibigan sa PAL, nagtatrabaho. Senior ko siya nung college. Sabi niya, yung ate niya daw, like, siguro over a year na nag-aantay ng tawag from Philippine Airlines for an impact interview. So, naisip ko, oh my God, more than a year na siyang nag-aantay. Samantalang ako, kakapasa ko lang. Lumipas ang 2 weeks, wala pa rin tawag from Philippine Airlines. So, I really thought na, baka hindi talaga sila hiring ngayon. So, I was very sad. Umuwi na lang ako ng Davao City kasi wala eh. Aantayin ko na lang talaga yung Cebu Pacific na matrain kami. But, pag uwi ko ng Davao City, 3 days after ng pag-uwi ko, biglang tumawag ang Philippine Airlines. Nag-invite for an interview. So, 'di ba, 3 days lang, interview ko na daw sa last week of September. Siguro 3 days na lang bago yung interview ko. So, ayun, nabilan ako ng ticket. Pumunta ako sa Impact interview. So, now, sa Impact interview, there were 9 of us. Pero ako lang yung isang natanggap. Hindi nga siya totally natanggap eh, kasi I was put on conditional status. Sabi nila, yung hair ko daw masyadong makapal, pa-haircut daw. Yung kilay ko masyadong magulo, masyadong sabog. So, pa-thread ko daw. Tapos, meron akong maliit na pimple dito that time. Like, sobrang liit lang. Pero still, na-criticize nila yon. And then, nung chinek nila yung lower teeth ko, like, meron daw akong konting gap dito. So, as in, sobrang konting gap lang. Pero, sinuggest nila na magpa-braces daw ako. So, kung magpa-braces pa ako, it would be siguro 2 to 3 years pa. Tapos, sobrang liit lang naman ng gap. Tsaka, hindi ko naman siya totally kailangan. Ang ginawa ko, nagpa-haircut, nagpa-thread ako, tapos meron akong ginamit na pang-peel ng mukha para mawala yung pimple marks. So, that's my ultimate secret. Hindi ko siya maring i-share. Ang ginawa ko sa teeth gap is pinapastahan ko siya. Parang walang binawas, walang dinagdag. More like pinatungan lang siya para makover yung gap. So, effective naman. After 2 weeks, saka akong bumalik sa Philippine Airlines. Sabi ko na, I'm ready for my next interview. Next Impact interview. So, sa next Impact interview, October na. So, October 2015 na. That was like isang buwan na yung lumipas bago ako nakapag-Impact interview again. So, after that, 20 kami nun. Tapos, ako lang yung isang lalaking natanggap. After that was initial medical exam na. So, I went to the initial medical exam. Okay naman ako lahat. Sa height, weight, sa vision, wala namang problema. So, the next step for me was the exam. So, that was October. So, second week of November, nag-text ng Philippine Airlines inviting me for the online exam. Yeah, I went to the exam. Yun nga sinabi ko before sa aking previous videos na 2 parts siya. Yung 15 minutes exam lang and then yung 1 hour exam. So, after the exam, waiting game again. Siguro after a week, nag-update ako. Ilang beses akong tumawag sa HR asking kung kamusta ba yung exam, kung pasado ba ako. And luckily again, pasado naman. So, the next step for me was the final interview na. So, 1 step na lang, pwede na ako mag-start sa training. So, 'di ba? September 1st Impact interview ko, October 2nd Impact interview, November exam. Ang final interview ko, December pa siya nangyari, December 17. The final interview came and sobrang okay ng interview na yon. Pumasa ako. So, yun. Tanggap na ako sa Philippine Airlines. Next step for me was medical exam. Sinabi ko sa HR na hindi ako taga Manila, taga Davao talaga ako. And malapit na mag-Christmas, mag-holiday. So, pwede bang makapag-medical exam ako agad? So, pumayag naman sila. The following week, nakapag-medical exam ako agad. Everything went well. Walang problema. So, all I had to do was wait for the training. So, December 24, umuwi na ako ng Davao City. Tapos, doon ako nagsalapit ng Christmas, New Year. And then, ginagawa ko, nag-aantay lang ako ng updates from PAL. So, by January 2016, nag-text na ang PAL. Sinabi na, I am for the June training class. So, January pa yon. So, tagal pa ng June, siguro after 6 months pa. So, what I did was, nag-volunteer ako sa Ateneo de Davao Senior High School as admin assistant lang under sa Senior High School Director. Kasi yung Senior High School Director ng Ateneo de Davao was my former college professor. Hindi ako employed but I work under him and siya na lang yung nagbibigay sa akin ng allowance. So, kahit papano, meron akong pera habang nag-aantay sa PAL. So, I worked there for like 3 months until March. By March, nakatanggap ako ng text from Philippine Airlines na I am for the May 23 training batch. So, ang plano ko nun is, pupunta ako ng Manila 1 month prior to the training para makapaghanap ako ng condo, makapag-prepare ako, ganun. Nag-book ako ng ticket April 20 kasi nga May 23 yung aking training. So, pagdating ng April, siguro first week of April, nag-text na naman ang Philippine Airlines na kailangan daw namin bumalik sa Manila for a reassessment. So, that was still first week of April and yung nakabook kong ticket papuntang Manila was April 20 pa. Medyo matagal pa. Tinanong ko yung HR, sinabi ko na, ma'am, nakapag-book na ako ng ticket for April 20. Okay lang ba yung reassessment ko after April 20 na? So, sinabi nila, pwede, pero madidelay daw yung training batch ko. So, naisip ko, hindi ko na patatagalin to. Kailangan ko nang pumunta ng Manila para matrain ako agad. So, ayun, tinext nila ako, like, siguro April 9. And then the reassessment was April 10, 11, 12. So April 12, 3 days after lang, reassessment na. So ang ginawa ko, pinarebook ko yung ticket ko kasi hindi ko rin naman siya magagamit sa April 20. So pinarebook ko siya on the next day agad para pumunta na ako Manila the next day. Tapos ang nangyari, sobrang mahal ng rebooking fee kasi first of all, rebooking fee mahal na. Tapos next day pa agad yung flight. So siguro nasa mga 5K yung dinagdag kong rebooking fee sa pamasahe pa lang. So own expense kasi lahat, ikaw bahala gumastos. So yun, na-rebook ko yung flight, naabutan ko yung reassessment. So sa reassessment, chinek nila ulit kung na-maintain ba namin yung aming weight, ang aming complexion, yung clear skin. So, luckily, wala na akong problema. Already for training na talaga. Doon ko rin nakilala ang aking mga batchmates sa reassessment. So, sinabi sa amin na we will be class number 5 for batch 2016. So, ICCT 1605. Kinuha ko yung Facebook, yung contact numbers na aking mga batchmates. Makapag-communicate kami sa Facebook. That was also the time na naghanap ako ng mga roommates na during training. So, sa training kasi, hindi pwedeng malate. Tsaka, may allowed absences lang. So, ang plano namin mag-batchmate is mag-rent kami ng condo, tapos mag-roommate kami. Tapos yun na nga, another gastos na naman kasi kailangan pa mag-rent ng condo. So, buti na lang, nakahanap kami ng available na condo sa, like, tapat lang talaga ng training center, maybe 2 to 3 minutes away from the training center. 20,000 pesos, apat kami roommates, so tig 5K each. That time, wala akong pera, so maasa lang ako sa dad ko lahat. So, sorry, I'm very thankful for my dad kasi siya gumastos lahat. Dumating ang training, May 23, start ng training namin. Everything went well naman, sobrang hirap ng training, sobrang intense. Ako kasi yung tipong student nung college na hindi ako sanay mag-aral. Sa training, you have no choice but to study talaga. Kailangan mo pag-aralan lahat ng topics kasi everyday may exam. Paminsan, may 3 exam sa isang araw and passing rate is 90%. So imagine kung 10 items lang yung exam, 1 mistake lang yung allowed. Ganun ka-intense yung training. Tapos hindi lang exams, meron pang mga drills. Mga drills na kailangan namang i-memorize kung what to do during emergencies. So sobrang daming kailangang i-memorize, kailangang ipasok sa utak. Siguro nakakatulog kami noon mga 2 to 4 hours na lang, nakakatulog kami 2 AM, tapos kailangan namin pumunta ng training center at 8 AM. Buti na sobrang lapit lang nung condo namin. Ayun nga, sobrang struggle siya kasi mahirap. Parang halos everyday may exam and then weekends walang pasok, ganun. So, every weekend, kailangan talaga mag-aral, kailangan i-memorize lahat. Sobrang dami, sobrang bago sa akin lahat. Luckily, we all passed the training and I passed the training with flying colors. So, never ako bumagsak ng any subject, never ako nabagsak ng any drills, and I ended up as the batch salutatorian. So, yay! Goal ko talaga nun, valedictorian, top 1, pero hindi ako naging top 1. Yung roommate ko yung naging top 1. So, roommate goals pa rin. So, after the training, there was just a few days bago kami nag-start lumipad. Siguro 3 days lang. Nag-administrative briefing muna kami sa mga rules and regulations for flying. After a few days, start na ng flying agad. Start on duty na agad. Kasi medyo kulang sa tao that time. So, diretso kami lipad. Wala na kaming 1 week to go home. So, I'm very thankful for my family for helping me financially. I think yun yung struggles ko. And then, my first flight came na. First flight was Nagoya, Japan. So, overnight agad sa Japan. So, I was so happy that time kasi international yung first flight ko. And then, that was one memory na hindi ko makakalimutan. So, 15 days after, nag-start na kami, magkasahod. So, since then, I have been living independently na. So, kayang-kaya ko na lahat na dahil sa sahod, medyo malaki, nakakuha ko yung gusto ko. That's it. That's my struggle. Those are the challenges na na-encounter ko. Mostly financial talaga kasi hindi naman ako taga Manila. So, airfare is very expensive. So, kung ano pinakamura, yun na yun. Kung siguro yung pinakamura, 4,000 pesos. Sige, piyungan na lang nato. Yun yung sinasabi ng lola ko lagi. Piyungan na lang nato para lang makastart ang training sa PAL. So, yun. Bawat cabin crew, may kanya-kanya kaming story. Kung kanya-kanya kaming struggle, kung paano kami nag-iisang FA. Ako, luckily, 1 try lang ako. Yung iba sa amin, mga 4 times, 5 times nag-apply. Yung iba, hindi ko mabilang. I'm just really lucky to be a part of Philippine Airlines. So, para sa inyong mga nag-a-apply din dyan, don't lose hope. The right time will come. Opportunities are not given easily. So, kailangan natin paghirapan ng mga bagay. Nasabi ko naman na it's all worth it in the end. So, sobrang worth it in the end. Sobrang stressful. Sobrang exhausting financially, mentally, physically, kasi nakakapagod siya. Isa lang masasabi ko, it's all worth it in the end. So that's it for today, guys. That's my story of how I became a cabin crew. I started applying for PAL September 2015 and I started flying September the following year, 2016. So yun ang story ko. I started from SEDPAC and then PALX and then Philippine Airlines. The moment na nakapag-train na ako sa Philippine Airlines, I canceled my application with Cebu Pacific na. So that's it. So sa mga nag-apply, good luck sa inyong lahat. I hope kayanin nyo, laban lang, don't lose hope. Sa mga hindi natanggap, maybe now is not the right time. Konting improvement lang, kaya nyo yan. Tiwala lang, ma-reach yun yung goals nyo. So thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button to be notified for my new videos. So if you have any comments, suggestions, or video requests, don't forget to leave it in the comment section. I will be putting some information as well in the description box in case I forget something. Don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram. So thank you very much, guys. Bye! See you on my next video.